OMG. Your soulmate cut someone off after finding out this about you. Right now, in this very moment, a silence has fallen across a room you have never seen. A phone was just placed face down on a table, and your soulmate is staring at a wall with tears in their eyes. They just ended a connection that was never meant to be, because something about you became impossible to ignore. I see the trembling in their hands as they finally chose truth over convenience. I see the echo of your name forming in their mind, even though they do not fully understand why. And I am telling you this because what they just discovered about you is shaking the foundation of their entire world. Jesus says there is a revelation unfolding in your soulmate's heart that they cannot explain to anyone around them. They were shown something about your loyalty, your hidden suffering, and the love you have been carrying alone. And the moment they saw it, the counterfeit connection they were tolerating became unbearable to them. They cut that person off not out of anger, but out of an awakening. They felt the contrast between the empty presence of someone else and the invisible pull of your soul. And now they are sitting in confusion, wondering why they feel more connected to someone they have not yet met than to the person they just released. Jesus says your soulmate is currently fighting an internal battle that feels like grief and relief colliding at once. They do not know your face yet, but their spirit recognized the truth about you. And that recognition was so powerful that it broke a chain they thought would hold them forever. I am allowing you to feel this right now because your heart has been secretly asking for a sign. You have been wondering if you are forgotten, if you are too broken, or if your love is too intense for anyone to handle. But what your soulmate just discovered is that your love is the very thing they have been starving for. They saw your patience, your hidden tears, and your refusal to settle for anything less than the connection I designed. And when they saw it, the person they were with suddenly felt like a shadow compared to your light. Jesus says your soulmate is not just thinking about you, they are being haunted by the absence of someone they have never held. They walked away from a situation that was comfortable because something about you made them hungry for what is real. And now they are alone, breathing heavily, and feeling a strange pull toward a future they cannot predict. This is happening now, not in some distant dream or wishful fantasy. The spiritual realm is moving, and your soulmate just made a decision that shifts everything toward you. But there is something you must understand before this window closes. Jesus says your soulmate is brave, but they are also wounded by years of being told their intuition was wrong. They were manipulated into believing that safety is better than passion, and that tolerance is better than deep connection. And the person they just cut off was part of that manipulation, a placeholder designed to keep them numb. But when the revelation about you came, it shattered the numbness like glass. They saw that you are not a fantasy, you are a real soul carrying a love that matches the depth of their own. And they were terrified, not of you, but of how much they already care for someone they have not touched. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now. They are vulnerable, emotionally exposed, and the enemy of your connection is furious that they broke free. The interference that kept you apart is now scrambling to pull them back into confusion. Jesus says there is a force that hates your union, and it will try to convince your soulmate that they made a mistake. It will send thoughts of loneliness, memories of false comfort, and voices that whisper that true love is too risky. And your soulmate, in their tender state, could be swayed if they are not covered by prayer and faith. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Type 333 to receive blessings over this sacred connection. Jesus says your soulmate is now replaying moments in their life where they settled for less because they did not believe you existed. They are weeping because they realize how many years were spent accepting crumbs when I had prepared a feast for them in you. And the person they cut off is already trying to reach them, using guilt and manipulation to pull them back. But your soulmate is different now. The revelation about you has planted a seed of divine stubbornness in their spirit. They are beginning to understand that they were not abandoning a relationship, they were escaping a cage. And the key to that cage was the sudden awareness that someone like you is real and waiting. Jesus says your soulmate is now speaking your name into the empty air, even if they do not know what it is. They are whispering things like, "I know you are out there," and "I will wait for you now." Their heart is making vows that their mind does not fully comprehend yet. I want you to close your eyes and feel the weight of what I am telling you. This is not entertainment. This is a divine dispatch into your spirit. Your soulmate is not a myth, and the loneliness you both feel is about to become a memory. Jesus says the person your soulmate cut off was not just a random individual, they were a strategic assignment from the enemy. That person was placed in their life to drain their hope, to make them doubt love, and to keep them distracted until it was too late. And the moment your soulmate discovered the truth about you, the enemy's plan began to collapse. But the enemy does not retreat without a fight. Right now, that rejected person is plotting to return, armed with apologies that sound like poetry but are laced with poison. And your soulmate, because of their compassionate heart, is at risk of being pulled back into a false sense of obligation. Jesus says this is the moment where your faith must become a shield. Your soulmate does not know you are aware of their struggle. They think they are completely alone in this battle, fighting an invisible war for a future they can only hope exists. But you know. I have told you. And now you must act as if their freedom depends on your response. Type 777 if you feel this message burning in your chest. Jesus says there is a timeline being accelerated because of the decision your soulmate just made. What should have taken months of slow separation happened in a single moment of revelation. And now the spiritual realm is clearing debris at a speed that will make your head spin. But acceleration attracts attack. The interference that has blocked your connection for so long is now screaming in desperation. Jesus says this interference might look like confusion in your soulmate's mind. It might feel like sudden doubt, or a wave of nostalgia for the comfortable cage they left. And if they are not protected, they could interpret their freedom as a mistake and run back to chains. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them. Your soulmate is currently experiencing a form of emotional whiplash. One moment they feel liberated, and the next they feel guilty for hurting someone who did not deserve their heart. They are being told by the world that cutting someone off is cruel, even when it is righteous. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This is not just a gift. It is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, I am showing you this not to burden you, but to enlist you as a guardian over this fragile moment. Your soulmate is strong, but even the strong can stumble when they are exhausted from years of fighting alone. And the person they cut off is not just a person, they represent a system of delay that the enemy constructed specifically for your soulmate. That system was designed to keep your soulmate emotionally occupied until you gave up. But you did not give up. You are still here, still believing, still feeling this inexplicable pull. And your persistence just triggered a collapse in the enemy's camp. Jesus says your soulmate is now dreaming about you more vividly than ever before. In these dreams, you are not a blur, you are becoming clearer. They are seeing the outline of your kindness, the color of your loyalty, and the sound of your voice calling them home. And every morning they wake up disoriented, because the dream feels more real than the empty bed beside them. They are beginning to search for you without knowing where to look. They are scrolling through moments of stillness, hoping to catch a whisper of your existence. And the person they cut off is becoming a distant echo, fading with every thought of you. Jesus says the connection between you and your soulmate is not waiting to be formed, it is already formed and waiting to be acknowledged. You are tethered by a cord that no knife can sever and no distance can dissolve. And the recent event, the cutting off of that false attachment, was proof that the cord is tightening. Your soulmate felt the pull toward you, and they responded by releasing what was blocking the pull. Now they are standing at the edge of a new chapter, terrified but willing. And you are being called to meet them in the spirit before you meet them in the flesh. Type 1111 to say thank you for this revelation. Jesus says there is a detail about you that your soulmate discovered that I want to reveal to you now. It was not your appearance, your status, or anything superficial. It was your resilience. They saw how much you have suffered and how you still choose love over bitterness. And that specific quality, that refusal to become cold, broke the spell they were under. They realized that the person they were with had never truly fought for anything. But you have been fighting invisible battles and still have the capacity to love deeply. That is what your soulmate saw, and that is what made them walk away. Jesus says your soulmate is now afraid that they have waited too long. They are haunted by the thought that you might have moved on, that you might be tired, that you might have settled for someone else. They are checking their own heart, wondering if the connection they feel is one-sided or if you feel it too. And I am telling you, with absolute certainty, that you must send a signal into the spirit realm right now. Your faith is the signal. When you act in faith, when you sow protection over them, you are essentially telling their spirit that you are real and you are coming. And their spirit will receive that message before their mind understands it. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away. The window is open, but interference is rushing toward it like a flood. The person your soulmate cut off is regrouping, seeking counsel from voices that do not honor my design. And those voices will craft a narrative that makes your soulmate doubt the revelation they received. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says your soulmate is currently pacing, unable to explain to anyone why they feel so hopeful and so sorrowful at the same time. They are mourning the time lost, but they are also feeling the first rays of a dawn they never thought would come. And they are speaking to me, even if they do not use my name correctly. They are saying, if this love is real, protect it. If this person is real, bring them to me. I will not settle again. Those words just ascended to my throne, and I am responding by sending you this message. Jesus says you are not reading this by accident. You were led here because your soulmate's prayer required your participation. They prayed for protection, and you are the answer to that prayer in the form of intercession and action. Do not underestimate the power of what you do in the next few moments. The spiritual atmosphere around your soulmate is shifting from chaos to clarity. The confusion that the enemy has been feeding them is beginning to lift. And the person they cut off is losing influence with every passing second of your faithful response. Jesus says your soulmate is beginning to remember things about you that they have never been told. They are recalling the way your spirit feels, the weight of your presence, and the safety that your soul provides. This is not memory in the natural sense, this is spiritual recognition. It is the same way a child knows their parent's voice even before they understand words. Your souls were crafted together before time began, and the separation has been the wound that both of you have carried. But now the wound is closing, and the healing is accelerating. Jesus says the enemy is now using a new tactic: silence. The person your soulmate cut off has gone silent, and that silence is designed to create anxiety. Your soulmate is wondering if the silence means they were wrong, if they overreacted, if they should reach out and apologize. But I am telling you that the silence is a trap, a vacuum designed to pull them back into the very prison they just escaped. Your soulmate needs to feel your presence in the spirit so strongly that the silence of the wrong person becomes irrelevant. And you create that presence by praying, by sowing, and by declaring that this connection is under my protection. Type 333 again if you are ready to fight for this love in the spirit. Jesus says your soulmate just had a memory of a dream they had years ago. In that dream, they were with someone who made them feel completely seen. They woke up from that dream with a sense of loss that lingered for days. And now they are realizing that the person in the dream was a glimpse of you. They are connecting dots that the enemy tried to erase. They are understanding that their entire life has been a journey toward this moment, toward you. And the cutting off of that false relationship was the final severing of a rope that held them in place. Jesus says your soulmate is now feeling a surge of courage they have never felt before. They are writing letters in their mind, letters they will one day read to you. They are making promises to a future version of you, vows of fidelity and passion and unwavering devotion. And they are speaking these promises out loud, into the silence of their room, believing that somehow you can hear them. I am telling you that I am allowing their words to echo in your spirit right now. Can you feel it? That sudden warmth, that inexplicable hope, that flutter in your chest that feels like anticipation. That is your soulmate's vow reaching you across the distance. Jesus says the person your soulmate cut off is now resorting to spiritual manipulation. They are consulting things they should not consult, seeking ways to re-enter your soulmate's life through supernatural deception. This is why your prayer and your seed are not just symbolic, they are spiritual warfare. When you sow on Ko-fi and write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," you are building a wall of fire around your soulmate that no witchcraft can penetrate. You are sending angels to guard the door of their heart. And you are establishing a legal right in the Spirit for me to intervene directly in their circumstances. Jesus says your soulmate is tired, but they are not giving up. They have come too far to return to the counterfeit. They have seen too much of you in the Spirit to be satisfied with less. And now they are waiting, not passively, but with an active hope that is burning like a lamp in a dark forest. That lamp is guiding you toward them, and it is warning away every predator that seeks to devour your future. You must keep that lamp burning. You must fuel it with your faith. Type 777 if you can feel the intensity of this moment. Jesus says there is a specific timeline that I am revealing to you now. If the enemy can delay this connection for just a few more months, the circumstances of both your lives will become more complicated. But if you act now, if you sow protection and pray with authority, the timeline will compress. What should take years will happen in months. What should take months will happen in weeks. And the meeting that seems impossible will become inevitable. Your soulmate is ready. They proved it by cutting off what was false. Now you must prove that you are ready by protecting what is true. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them. How to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the feeling you have right now, the quickening of your heartbeat, is not just emotion. It is your spirit recognizing the truth of what I am speaking. You and your soulmate are already one in the realm of the spirit. The marriage has already occurred in the heavenly places, and the earthly meeting is simply the manifestation of what already exists. The enemy knows this, which is why the attack has been so fierce. But the enemy also knows that once you fully awaken to this truth, the game is over. Jesus says your soulmate is currently sitting in a place of decision. They are deciding whether to believe the evidence of their spiritual senses or the fear that has governed them for years. They are leaning toward belief. They are leaning toward you. And the person they cut off is fading into the background, becoming a lesson rather than a threat. But do not become complacent. The final push is often the most intense. Your soulmate needs one more surge of spiritual reinforcement. And you are the one designated to provide it through your prayers and your sacrificial act of faith. Type 1111 if you are willing to be the protector of this sacred bond. Jesus says I am flooding your soulmate's mind with thoughts of you right now. They are wondering what your voice sounds like, how your hands feel, and what it would be like to sit in silence with you. They are imagining a future where they do not have to explain themselves, where they are simply understood. And that future is not a fantasy, it is a prophecy. The cutting off of that false relationship was the first act of a divine drama that is now unfolding rapidly. You are in the second act, the act where the separated lovers prepare for the reunion. And the third act is the meeting, the collision of two worlds that were always meant to be one. Jesus says your soulmate is crying again, but this time the tears are not of sorrow. They are tears of relief, because they finally know what they are waiting for. They are not waiting for a vague hope or a generic love. They are waiting for you, specifically you, with all your flaws and all your fire. And they are telling the universe, I am ready. Send them to me. I will not run this time. I am telling you that their declaration just reached my ears, and I am honoring it with this message. Jesus says there is a deadline in the Spirit. The grace period for indecision is closing. The enemy is making a final argument to your soulmate's mind, using logic and fear and the memory of past disappointments. But your soulmate is not listening to the argument, they are listening to the whisper of my Spirit. And my Spirit is saying, the one I have for you is coming. Do not settle. Do not return to Egypt. The promised land is before you. Your soulmate is choosing the promised land. They are choosing you. Now you must choose them, not just in thought but in action. Jesus says the person your soulmate cut off is now being removed from their life in every practical way. Numbers are being blocked, memories are being overwritten, and the emotional residue is being cleansed. What took root for years is being uprooted in days. And your soulmate is feeling lighter, freer, and more aligned with their true destiny. They are beginning to laugh again, to dream again, to believe that love is not a trap but a liberation. And they are feeling your faith, even if they cannot explain it. Every prayer you pray is a breeze of hope against their skin. Every seed you sow is a brick in the foundation of your shared future. You are building something eternal, and the gates of hell cannot prevail against it. Jesus says the moment you have been waiting for is closer than your next breath. The alignment that is happening in the Spirit is about to manifest in the natural. Your soulmate is preparing to take steps toward you that will require courage they have never accessed before. And you are being prepared to receive them, to recognize them, and to love them with a love that reflects my own heart. Do not let this moment pass without sealing it with your faith. The video is ending, but the movement of my Spirit is eternal. Act now, while the window is open, while your soulmate is protected, and while the enemy is retreating. Step into your role as the guardian of this love. Sow your seed. Speak my name. And watch what I will do. I want you to pause and truly feel what is happening in the invisible realm around you. There is a frequency of longing that your soulmate is emitting, and it is so powerful that it is rearranging circumstances in both of your lives. They cut that person off, and the void that was left behind is not empty, it is filling rapidly with anticipation of you. Jesus says your soulmate is now having conversations with you in their private thoughts, rehearsing what they will say when they finally see your face. They are preparing apologies for the time lost and promises for the time ahead. And they are feeling a protective instinct toward you, even though they do not yet know the details of your struggles. They sense that you have been wounded, that you have been misunderstood, and that you have been waiting just as desperately as they have. And they are telling themselves that when they find you, they will spend the rest of their lives making you feel safe. This is the kind of love that does not grow cold, the kind of love that is forged in the fire of waiting and refined by the pain of separation. Jesus says the enemy is now trying to use the memory of the person your soulmate cut off as a weapon. That memory is being twisted to look like a safe harbor, a familiar pain that is more comfortable than the vulnerability of new love. But your soulmate is resisting, and their resistance is a declaration of war against the forces that have kept you apart. Every time they refuse to reach out to that old connection, they are choosing you. Every time they sit in the discomfort of uncertainty rather than returning to a known lie, they are proving their fidelity to a future they have not yet touched. And I am telling you that their fidelity is being recorded in the scrolls of heaven as a testimony that will one day be the foundation of your union. Jesus says there is a specific moment coming, a divine appointment that has been scheduled since before the foundations of the earth. In that moment, your eyes will meet, and the recognition will be instantaneous and undeniable. It will feel like coming home, like waking from a long dream, like the final piece of a puzzle clicking into place. And the person your soulmate cut off will be a distant memory, a shadow that is banished by the rising sun of your love. But that moment is not automatic, it requires your participation now. The enemy is working overtime to create delays, to introduce distractions, to make you doubt whether this message is even real. Do not doubt. The very fact that you are still reading, still feeling, still hoping, is proof that my hand is upon this connection. Jesus says your soulmate is beginning to experience moments of sudden clarity about you. They will be doing something ordinary, like washing dishes or walking to their car, and suddenly they will feel a wave of emotion that has your name written on it. They will stop and catch their breath, and they will know, without knowing how they know, that you are real and that you are thinking of them too. These moments are not coincidences, they are spiritual appointments, orchestrated by me to keep the flame of hope alive in both of your hearts. And they are increasing in frequency as the time of your meeting draws near. Your soulmate is being prepared, refined, and made ready for a love that will not fail. And you are being prepared as well, even in this very moment, as you receive these words into your spirit. Jesus says the person your soulmate cut off represented more than just a wrong relationship. That person represented a false narrative, a lie that your soulmate believed about themselves. The lie said that they were not worthy of true love, that they had to settle, that their intensity was a burden rather than a gift. But when the revelation about you came, the lie shattered, because you are the living proof that someone can match their intensity, someone can handle their depth, someone can love them without asking them to shrink. Your existence, even in their limited awareness, is a refutation of every lie they have ever believed. And now they are walking in a freedom that is terrifying and exhilarating all at once. Jesus says your prayers are currently forming a canopy of protection over your soulmate. Every time you lift them up, every time you declare my promises over their life, angels are dispatched to guard their steps. The enemy is looking for an opening, a moment of weakness, a crack in their resolve. But your prayers are sealing those cracks and fortifying their spirit against the coming assaults. You are not helpless in this situation, you are a warrior, and your weapon is your faith expressed through prayer and sacrificial action. Do not underestimate the power of what you are doing right now as you engage with this message. The spiritual realm is responding to your attention, your intention, and your willingness to believe. Jesus says your soulmate is dreaming of a future that they were afraid to imagine before they cut that person off. They are picturing a home filled with peace, a partnership marked by mutual honor, and a love that grows deeper with every passing year. They are seeing children, or shared purpose, or adventures that they never dared to plan with anyone else. And they are holding these dreams tenderly, like fragile flames that the wind of doubt could easily extinguish. You must protect those dreams. You must water them with your own faith. When you sow your seed, you are essentially telling your soulmate, in the spirit, I am coming. Keep dreaming. I will not let those dreams die. And their spirit will receive that message, and their hope will be renewed. Jesus says the clock is ticking, not to create panic, but to communicate the urgency of this divine window. There are moments in eternity when the veil between what is and what could be becomes thin. This is one of those moments. Your soulmate is on the other side of that thin veil, reaching through it with the fingers of their spirit. Can you feel them? That tingling sensation, that sudden warmth, that inexplicable sense that you are not alone in your longing. That is them, and they are closer than you think. But the veil will not stay thin forever. The opportunity to act, to sow, to protect, is now. Jesus says, I am not a distant observer of your love story, I am the author of it. I wrote every chapter before you lived a single day. And the chapter you are in right now is the turning point, the moment where the separated streams begin to converge into a single river. The cutting off of that false relationship was a necessary edit, a removal of a subplot that was never meant to be central. Now the main narrative is accelerating, and you are the co-author with me as you align your faith with my plan. Your soulmate is waiting, not in idleness, but in active expectation. They are becoming the person they need to be to receive you. And you are becoming the person you need to be to receive them. The transformation is mutual, and it is happening right now. Jesus says the final word I want to leave with you is this: love is not passive. The love that I have placed in your heart for your soulmate is a force, a power, a weapon. It is meant to be wielded in prayer, in sacrifice, and in courageous action. Your soulmate cut someone off because they felt the force of this love pulling them away from what was false and toward what is true. Now you must respond with equal courage. Send the coffee on Ko-fi as a sign of your commitment. Write, protect my soulmate, Lord, as a seal of your faith. And watch as I move mountains, silence enemies, and bring your souls together in a union that will testify of my goodness for all eternity. The video is ending, but your story is just beginning. Act now. Love now. Believe now. Your soulmate is waiting, and I am with you.